So the title of my lesson is Figuring Out Fossils, and this is a science lesson for third grade. Below I have my science standard, my literacy standard, and also the technology standard. So this is my just kind of title introduction slide. This lets the students know kind of where we're going with the lesson and also lets them know the learning goals. This card is going to be a card that I will send out to the students. Before showing this card, I will tell students that they need to get out their science notebooks when I gather them around the carpet, and just to tell them that on the right side of their paper, on a new page, that they need to write down just anything and everything that they know about fossils. So I'm going to give kids time to do that, and then I'm going to tell them to leave the other side of their notebook blank because we are going to fill out what we learn about fossils in a little bit. So this card is really just a formative assessment for students. So as I send this card out, it's kind of just a quick check to see for me what students already know about fossils. With this being the first lesson, I really don't know what they know about fossils and what they don't. So this is kind of a way for me to just kind of gauge where students are at and address those concerns. So when they get this, they will also just be able to circle the fossils, and then they will send it back to me based on starting the question up here in the corner. I will just go to this and I will send the screen to all the students who are connected in my class. Then I will show them this video. This card is just a video that I inserted right into the PowerPoint, or not PowerPoint, excuse me, the ClassFlow lesson. And this is nice that it's embedded, so I can just press play and we can go ahead and see the video pops up here.
See that cliff? There's treasure up there. There's fossils in them there hills. Let's go!
So this is a really fun Bill Nye Science Guy video that just kind of introduces fossils to the kids and gets them engaged into the lesson. So then after I am done teaching this, I will actually have students, I will stop the film and I will show them this next slide on what makes a fossil. So I will have them take notes during the video, and then when they are done with the video, they will try to answer this question on really just what makes a fossil. I'll also give them time to sketch in their notebooks on the other side of what they learned about fossils from the video. When sending this out, I'll do the same thing, sending the screen out to all the students. Click send, and then it will go through. This will be a creative poll also, so students will actually get to write in with their finger on their iPad what makes a fossil. So after seeing that, and again checking for me as a teacher the formative assessment, just seeing where students are at and what they learned from that video, I will go through them and share them with the class and kind of go over any misconceptions that students may have or clarifications for them. I will show them what makes a fossil by lowering down this screen and reading off the fossils. My next slide here kind of ties in my literacy lesson. This card gets into kind of an informational text reading, and so this right here is Rocks in the Life Cycle, and this is just the first page of it. So what I would do is I would again send this out to the students. I really like the feature on ClassFlow of sending things to students because I think that's a really powerful way to engage students and make sure that everyone is participating, because they all have the device in front of them and they will all have the card in front of them as well. So I think this is a really cool way to engage students, and so I use the sending feature a lot within this lesson. So here students will read through a couple pages worth of reading, and before doing that I will answer this question of what do we look for when we are reading informational text. So again, I will take that and I will send it out to students. I will probably send this one out with an essay, so using this text feature. That way students can actually type in what we look for when looking at informational text. And as they send those back in, I am hoping that they will say things such as headings, subheadings, captions, bold words, etc., key ideas, things that we have talked about already that we want to focus on when reading informational text, and how it kind of differs from reading different types of text. So going on to the next card, Here I will just put this slide up while students are working. On the last card, it talked about reading the informational text. So now that all the students have that reading on their iPads, I will send them back to their desks to read, and within their science notebooks, they will also just kind of go through and write down things that they learn from fossils from the informational text. So a lot of it isn't necessarily about fossils, but it is things that we are going to hopefully be getting into in future lessons. And so I just really want them to focus on the fossil portion of that reading and take notes in their science notebooks about things that they learned about fossils. And then what they're going to do is this page is up because after students go through the reading, we're going to bring them back together. And they're going to share some of the things that they learned. And then this card is about creating a mind map. And students will create a mind map using the Simple Mind app. And what I will do is I'll really kind of just show this example right here. Oops. You can kind of see this example right here about the My Fossil map. They'll talk about what they learned and then what they thought. So what they thought was those things that they put down in the beginning of the lesson of things that they thought they knew about fossils, and then what they learned is kind of going to go off of what they learned from the video and what they learned from the readings. This mind map will also create a really good segue into creating a study guide for students, and then it also is a good feature just to teach kids how to take notes and how to organize their thoughts electronically. So this kind of is the end of the lesson, and students will be able to create that mind map, and we'll jump back into something the next day that goes along with the mind map and moving more into fossils and experimenting with fossils and really looking at fossils hands-on.